Hey guys, welcome to the Cyberspace VR. Today we're going to be discussing the Quest 2 versus the HTC Vive Cosmos.
This is an interesting one. Might be a little bit funny to compare these two because out of all of the VR headsets that have ever been made in the past 5-7 years, I don't know how long it's been going on for, the HTC Cosmos is probably the worst. Not necessarily the worst, but has the worst reputation out of all of them.
I have never met anybody that bought this headset. And like, that's kind of saying a lot. I know a lot of people with VR, and I've never met anybody that decided to go with this one.
But we do think that it is worth breaking it down and showing why whichever headset's better in terms of specs. We like to break down spec by spec to see which headset is superior, and we have a full series going on about this. We just did one about the the Index. Getting them all mixed up. We just did one about the Valve Index. We've done one with the comparing it to the Oculus Quest 2. We're doing every headset that's on the market, and I think this one will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it's a big slap or if there's some things that are comparable between the two headsets. So.
Right. If you've been watching our videos, you know that we might be a little overexcited for the Quest 2, right? This is something we've kind of been looking forward to our entire lives. You know, like we started out with the HTC Vive, and that was awesome. And then we got actually some Oculus Go's because we were going to try and do some real estate tour type deal things with our business. And we loved it. I fell in love with that little headset.
Oh yeah.
Watching Netflix and stuff.
Best headset for watching movies, or at least it was before this puppy's coming out.
Yeah. And so, but now that, this is coming out, it's like the best of both worlds. So, and then we also started with the HTC Vive, and so this is kind of like the bigger, older brother that, supposedly has like all the right specs and is just a direct upgrade. So let's dive into it. What do we
Cool. So let's go ahead and start with pixels per eye. The pixels per eye for the Oculus Quest 2 is 1832 by 1920, which is insanely good. For just to give you some context, the Valve Index, which is probably the most expensive and known as the best headset on the market, its pixels per eye are 1400 by 1600. And let's compare that to the HTC Vive Cosmos. That is 1400 by 1700. So pixels per eye is actually a little bit better for the Cosmos than the Valve Index, but the Oculus Quest 2 just trumps them both by a lot.
I don't know how. I don't know I don't know how Oculus is doing it, but they are. So
yeah, I mean, it is newer. It is a newer headset, and Valve and HTC and Samsung haven't necessarily had time to reciprocate and make another headset to maybe compete with it. But I don't know if they will. I really don't know if they will, because they're claiming so much market share with this. Oculus might even be taking a loss with these headsets, but they're doing that to just take that lower bracket pricing of headsets by storm, and they really are taking it. So I don't know if they'll have time to compete with it. But so far, we're looking at Oculus Quest beating it out. So Oculus Quest is 1-0 for against the Cosmos right now in terms of pixels per eye. Anything else you want to add about that?
No, I think it's pretty flippin' awesome. I'm so excited for the Quest 2, and having almost a 4K display is just phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and move to refresh rate, yeah?
Screen refresh rate for the Oculus Quest 2 is, at launch, going to be 72 hertz, but it's 90 hertz is to come. Very quickly is what I hear as well. So 72 to 90 is what we'll call it, but it will be 90, especially if you have the link cable. It should just be 90 by default, and all that means is that you'll be able to hook up the Quest 2 to your computer, and it should just run off of all that power and awesomeness. The HTC Vive Cosmos is at 90 hertz, so basically the same. We're basically on the same level. Maybe we could give, just because Oculus Quest 2 is going to start out with that 72 hertz, but will quickly match the Cosmos. I guess we give the half point to Cosmos for this, just because it's barely ahead, even though it's kind of the same.
I agree. So that's one point for the Quest and half point for the Cosmos.
If we're looking at weight, the Oculus Quest 2 is 503 grams compared to the 645 grams for the HTC Vive Cosmos.
So for those of us that are, Americans, that's a little bit over a pound. So I think it's 1.1 for the Quest, and so that's probably like 1.4 or something for the Cosmos.
Yeah, around there. Math's probably off a little bit, but
Just throwing some numbers out there.
just to give you a little bit of reference.
Yep.
So I think we can give a half point to the Quest.
Yep.
For being just a little bit lighter. Weight's not the biggest thing, but it does have some
Yeah,
impact
I mean, if you're jumping around playing Beat Saber
for hours.
or whatever, you know, you don't want your headset to be super heavy. It's going to be a little painful. So
So moving on to tracking, both headsets use internal cameras, which I think is revolutionary. I prefer personally tracking cameras over base stations and sensors and things like that.
Yep.
So since it's even, I don't know how you feel about this.
let's throw one thing out there. If you're like really big into having the highest quality experience, you can actually add the base stations from like anything, like the Vive, the original Vive, or the new Valve Index base stations to help with the tracking on this. I'm not sure what the procedure is, but I know that's available. So I would say give a half point to the Valve or the Cosmos.
More versatility there.
Right.
So that puts us at 1-1. So, which is interesting because this has probably the worst reputation and this might have the best reputation right now. And so far they're pretty evenly matched. We've got some more specs.
Isn't it 1.5 to 1? Because this one is lighter.
Oh, right. 1.5. Sorry. 1.5 to 1.
Yep, there you
So
go.
it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Considering that we're talking about potentially the worst headset versus one of the best.
Right.
So not too bad. I think by this point with comparing it with the Index, which check out that video, I think the Quest is up by like 2 or something.
So we'll see.
We'll
Let's
see.
keep going.
Let's take a look here. So a couple things to keep in mind, for example, like RAM, storage, all that, like because the Oculus Quest has the opportunity to be both a standalone headset and with a link cable be hooked up to your PC, we can't really compare that as well. Because if it was like the Quest 1 where it was just standalone, the HTC Vive Cosmos would rack up a ton of points right here because it wouldn't have to have a really nice processor because it would go off of your computer. RAM would beat the
It doesn't even have those things. It doesn't have them at all, right?
Like because your PC has all that.
Right.
But anyways, it would beat that and gain a bunch of points right here. But since the Oculus Quest has the capability to rock both worlds, I think we give them a point there for that.
Yep. It's just that versatility. I don't care who you are, even if you don't plan on using it at all. The fact that it's there, you know, maybe there's tons of free apps on the Oculus Quest store. Maybe just you decide, I'm going to go watch some Netflix in my bed. And you don't need to connect it to your computer. And it's just the same exact quality experience that you expected. I don't know. I think that's worth a point.
Definitely. I think
Absolutely.
so too.
If not 2, but we'll just stick with 1.
Maybe today you want to take it to a friend's house, so you use the mobility, the standalone part of the headset, and then maybe tomorrow you want to hook it up to the PC and get a little bit better of an experience.
I could be wrong, but I think Rec Room is still free on the Quest.
Probably.
So, and that's cross-platform. So you can play with your buddy on his computer, your other buddy on his VR, and then you're on your Quest.
There you go.
And you're playing Rec Room paintball or whatever.
Fun.
So.
That's fun.
Yep.
So that puts Oculus Quest at 2.5.
Yep.
Leaving the Cosmos trailing behind at 1.
Okay.
I think one thing worth mentioning as well, there's a lot of drama right now with, we talked about this as well in our last video, being Facebook required.
Yeah.
So with the Oculus Quest 2, you have to have a Facebook account. And a lot of people are acting up about that. They don't like that. Do you want to kind of give some context there?
So a lot of people are upset that you have to have a Facebook account to log into the Quest 2 because they're worried Facebook is going to be stealing their data. And they don't need to be worried about it. They can know that Facebook's stealing their data. They have no other reason to do that other than to sell your data. And it's quite obvious that that's the reason why this headset's, or one of the reasons why this headset's priced so low. We'll jump into price later, but in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal. Just make a fake Facebook account. We've all been doing that for eons. I don't know about you, but I personally have made like 3 Gmails just so I can have Amazon Prime for free.
Yeah.
You know, so just like, I don't know. It's even more permanent than that. Make a fake email account, a fake Facebook account, throw some stock images in there for your profile photo, and there you go. You have an Oculus account.
Good to go.
You don't have to worry about them doing whatever. So,
But a lot of people are concerned about this, so it's not the biggest deal. We'll give the Cosmos a half point.
Yep.
For that, because you don't have to have a Facebook account or any account required to be able to.
Except for like a Steam account.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, but yeah. So that puts what are we at? 2.5 to 1.5 now.
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk about controllers. What we'll talk about really quickly. We don't have pictures of controllers here for the Cosmos, but let's talk about batteries. Both of these are battery powered, so we can compare them there. The Oculus Quest 2 takes 2 batteries, right? One for each controller. The Cosmos takes 2 batteries per controller, which that's tedious to me. First off, I prefer controllers that are just rechargeable because I can never find batteries in this dang house. So only having to find 2 batteries when my controllers die as compared to having to find 4, that's a big deal for me. I don't know how you see this, but
Yeah, I mean, four batteries is a lot. I mean, you get more battery power, but I'd rather have 2 batteries and then I can replace them when I need to.
yeah.
I don't know. It just seems a little bit, yeah.
It's a lot harder to have to do battery hopping through all the different remote controls you have in your house to find 4 that work as opposed to 2. So we'll give a half point to the controllers for the Oculus Quest for this one.
I don't know, actually. I would say it's pretty tied because the Cosmos controllers are a little bit more bulky and like they look like they'd last a little longer. Here's what they look like if you can't remember. Yeah, so they're a little bit bulky. They're more durable. I've seen a lot of people break the ring on Oculus controllers. I'm curious to see how durable the new ones are, but I assume they're going to be similar.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep that in mind. So I would say it's actually a tie.
Call it a tie.
Yeah, call it a tie. No points for either.
Sure. Yeah, that's probably the better way to do it. So right now we're still seeing Oculus Quest 2 up by a full point, 2.5 to 1.5.
Yeah.
We're calling it a tie just again because less batteries required, but controllers are better for the Cosmos. So, all right, let's just finish up with price. Let's talk about the price here because that's where things really get interesting. The Oculus Quest 2, just the base model, is rocking out at $300.
Right.
Upgrading the headset, because the Quest 1 was $400. So they upgraded and lowered the price. Really interesting, revolutionary. I think that's awesome.
Yep.
The Vive Cosmos is, just for like the base model, is going for about $700. So quite a bit more expensive. Quite a bit more expensive.
Yeah. I will say that you do need to buy some additional stuff if you want to match the Vive versus the Oculus. So for example, the Cosmos has this awesome halo design that you see on the Rift S. Basically, you just put it on and you can tighten it and you're good to go. This one has Velcro straps, but you can upgrade it for like $50 to have something similar so that it's just a tightened halo. But that doesn't come stock. The other thing is this one has these fancy, nice headphones where this one are just in the sides. So you're getting a little bit more bang for your buck. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Where do you want to allocate those points? Do you feel like...
Well, I guess we could give a half point for speakers. We talked about speakers in the index video.
Yep.
We haven't talked about speakers in this one. Speakers are definitely going to be superior here. So that puts... Let's give Cosmos a half point for that. So
okay.
That means that we're just up by half point on the Quest right now.
Right.
2.5 to 2. But in terms of price, like...
It's
sure, okay, fine. You have to spend $50. That puts you at $350 to match. Yep. I mean, still, you're not spending $700. And let's say you're going to want to get the link cable, most likely, so that's another $80. So that puts you, let's call it around $430 or so.
Yep.
$430 compared to $700 is ridiculous.
Yeah, you could spend $100 on a nice pair of headphones with a short cable and plug them in, and you have way better headphones than these little dinky things.
Yeah, I mean, they're better, but they're not. We're not going to say they're amazing.
Yeah.
Another thing to keep in mind: a lot of people who did get the Cosmos wanted the Elite version, which is $900, and that's like if we're going to talk about what it takes to upgrade, I think it's fair to compare.
Yep.
Like, so if you want to upgrade this to the best version of itself, you're going to want to pay around $430 to $500 or so. If you want the best version of the Cosmos, you're going to have to compare it between $700 and $900.
Yep.
So that just when it comes to value per dollar, I mean the Quest wins.
Quest wins, it's going to win in every any headset it goes up against, it's going to win. In that
until all these other companies start releasing headsets that can compare with the price and the quality, the Quest will win.
Yep.
In terms of price, and with resolution and refresh rate, the Quest is just dominating. So Quest wins this battle.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Absolutely.
Very, very straightforward. I mean, it was closer than I thought.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie.
I personally, I haven't tried this headset. You know, I haven't put this one on specifically, but you know, it's gonna be similar to most headsets. I feel like it's not gonna be. We always had problems with our Vive. I felt like.
Yeah, the red dot of death.
Yeah, we actually broke our HTC Vive. Well, I broke our HTC Vive. Played Beat Saber, and I got a little sweaty, and it broke.
Yeah.
So I don't have any brand trust with the Vive. I don't trust them that they're durable headsets. We fried our headset very easily. It didn't take much at all. And so, but Oculus, I've been playing in that forever, and
It's kicking butt.
never had any problems. So I'm really excited for the Quest.
Yeah, I am as well. Maybe you're watching this video because you're curious and you own a Cosmos right now. One of the few people who do. Not many people do. I would say it might be worth it to just take a loss, sell it. Maybe you can sell it for $300, $400. Allocate that money to a better headset like the Quest.
Yep.
That makes sense to me.
Yep.
But whatever you choose, go ahead and comment in this video what you think, what your thoughts are on it. Like it. We would appreciate that. If you disagree, we'd appreciate it if you didn't dislike the video, but instead you commented and tell us what you see differently. And always subscribe. We would really, really appreciate that. Gives us motivation to keep on going. So.
Absolutely. Let us know. We'll love to see you on our next video, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.